Apparently, I'm live. Just being ballsy tonight. Decided to, practice with StreamYard and play with my camera and see if that'll stream properly. I'm writing anyway. So, decided, why not practice with all this other stuff? It's what all the other author tubers do. So, I might as well get a little bit of practice myself. I did have a test stream a couple of months ago, and I had two other streams. Oh my God, LDJ's on here. Hi, Larry. Oh, I don't have to type in chat. You can hear me. Yeah, I'm just messing around. Slightly inebriated, as the title said. But I'm writing. I've been writing for, I don't know what time it is right now, 7:16, so I guess 4 hours and a bit. My project for book 3 is sitting at 41,634 words. That's only 2/3 of the way through. I've written, how the hell did I do that? I wrote 2,476 words today so far in those 4 hours. That's pretty good, even for me. We're 2/3 of the way through. I'm already into Act 3. I don't know how I'm going to buffer this thing out. But we'll try, Okay, thanks. It's amazing. So the last 2 streams that I did where I just went through dev editors, like no one actually showed up. But I guess Larry has an alert on, and I appreciate that, sir. I do. What's my... Oh, I have to click on the things. See, I'm learning. Click on the thing. What's your target word count? 60 is the target. Murder mysteries tend to be that as far as genre expectations go. I mean, I do have a bunch of French terminology in it, and so I have to create a glossary, and then there's, extra stuff I write, and they end up being between 65 and 70,000, but 60K is the goal. So that's where we are. Let's talk to the audience. Well, hello. What do you, in particular, LDJ writes? What do you plan on writing tonight, if you plan on writing anything, or maybe you just tuned in to see me have a mental breakdown? Oh my God, Miley's here. This is crazy. Hi, Miley. How you doing? Oh, it's fun. There you go. Oh my God. Hey, Ian. Hey, I'm here. I actually had planned on shaving and, maybe prettying myself up a bit before I went live, but then I remembered that I'm me and I just do whatever the hell I want. I don't know if I could ever... Oh, hold on. I got to click on the things. I don't know if I could ever write anything to 60,000 words. Fair enough. Typical novel, what is it, like 80 to 90? And then a lot of people are writing like 120 and then paring that down to match whatever the genre expectation is. And a lot of people are, I don't even want to say overwriters. I'm not big on the over-under, but enthusiastic writers, you're getting the whole story down. You're not necessarily overwriting, but you're just getting it all in. And then the underwriters are like, okay, these are the bare bones and I'll beef it up later. But maybe the bare bones is all it needs sometimes. So I'm fine with either extreme, however people want to do things. For me, I keep contradicting myself video to video. Like sometimes I say I'm more about the murders and sometimes I say I'm more about the character development. And I meant to say this in a future video, but character development is what I think readers will remember book to book. I think they'll enjoy the murders, but I think they'll really remember and want to read on for the characters interacting in those worlds. Whereas, and that's wonderful. For me, writing, I have to have the murder mystery, or it's not a murder mystery book. So that's very important in the time. And then after I finish writing it, I end up thinking that it's more about the characters. So that's that. You love the scruff. Well, thank you. I went gray and bald at 30, so I've pretty much been rocking this look for a long time. I've gotten used to it. I look a little bit like a transient, but that's fine. We don't all have homes. I'm working on the Ivory Crypt and doing research for YouTube videos. Awesome. 50,000 words earlier today. Incredible, sir. Ivory Crypt, I believe, is book 5, but correct me if I'm wrong. It may be 6. You've got this huge thing going on. Your incredible output. I love it. I think that's true because that's usually what I remember as a reader. Thank you. Thank you. Who's this? Oh, it's Tia. Hi, Tia. I can't believe people are actually showing up. This was like such a nightmare the first couple of times I tried this. Not a nightmare. I was fine. I was doing dev edits and ended up just talking to myself while I was doing it. And then tonight I'm writing, and then I noticed no one else seems to be streaming live. I checked a bunch of people's channels. No one was doing it. I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's get some practice in case I ever go live in the future. And this is great. I'm amazed that people showed up. Thank you very much. You guys are wonderful. If anything's wrong with the video or audio, let me know. I looked at the wavy bar thing and it seemed to be working fine. Character was the crux. Yeah, it's about emotions. Well, it's about two things in a murder mystery. The satisfaction of solving a puzzle, and then also the emotional experience of seeing the characters go through things or develop because of the trials. So, yeah, I agree. What do we got now? Wait, Ian, I want to hear about your story. My story? I am writing a 30 book. It's a bit arbitrary, but Agatha Christie wrote 33 Hercule Poirot books. And I thought, okay, fine. We'll make it a more even number, and we'll say 30. I'm writing 30 murder mysteries that happen to take place in space. Contentious thing that happens to take place in space. I'll come back to that if I remember. Anyway, this is a slightly inebriated stream, so I may not remember everything. So it's 30 books. Each 6-book chunk will have a thematic arc, a common theme to those 6 books. I'm working on book 3 right now. I'm 41,000 words into it. Book 1 takes place on a space station. Book 2 takes place on a farm band, which is where they get their food from. And book 3 right now is taking place on a sort of secret research station in my equivalent of Antarctica. And then the other ones take place in all sorts of different places, but they all take place in this new solar system that they've discovered called, it's based off the name of the planet, the first inhabitable planet that they've actually found. They found 5 other systems, but they call this Paradise. So the planet's Paradise, the system is Paradise System, and then it's been recently discovered there's only 1 million people that actually live there, and we're popping about between, newly built space stations, the planet itself, research facilities. There is a mining thing, but honestly, I hate that all sci-fi immediately goes to the mining colonies. Screw that. It's been overdone. So, yes, mining cubes exist. That's what I call them. But we'll maybe introduce those in book 18 or, I don't know, 25 or something. Oh my God, lots of things. Dropping a link in Discord. Oh, there, sweet. 30. Yes, 30. 30 books. Again, slightly arbitrary. But, go big and go home, or go home. The hilarious part of this is the whole 30-book series is Act 1 for a completely different series. So there's that. Yes, I'm nuts. Everybody knows I'm nuts. You can write one. Come on, spit it out. Wait, hold on. Wait, I need to know how much plotting you've done. This is nuts. Okay. So you're not going to believe this, and everybody gets, well, I don't know. I'm not reading your minds, but I imagine people get pissed off when I say this. I outlined, I didn't outline. I did the entire world building for everything in a week when I decided last May that I suddenly felt like, oh, sorry, I'll look at the camera instead of the mic. When I suddenly felt like I wanted to write books. I did all the world building in a week, the whole structure of government and the police and most of the places where these things will take place. And then book 1, I wrote in 2 weeks, 60K words. And I did actually plot it. So that might have taken a day or so. I was enthusiastic and very invested. Book 2 took a little bit more time. That took an extra week. See, it's like ridiculous when I say it. And I didn't outline book 2 except for Act 1. And I did that for NaNoWriMo, and I did 60K for that. And then book 3 here, I've just decided to pants the entire thing, no outlining at all. And I mean, I could share my, spoilers, but okay, Scrivener, right? For anyone who knows it, you got this big white space in the middle where you write your words. You've got all of the scenes on the side and chapter folders and acts or whatever. In the top right corner, you've got a description for the scene that you're currently writing, and you can type in whatever you want there. And below that, you have notes, and it's a yellow pane, and you can write in whatever you want there. These are all just RTF files that are like synced together within this program. In the notes section, I keep every single thing that people have discovered, the evidence, the people that they've encountered. What do we have? I'll just scroll through it. I won't actually show you because that might spoil something. Click, click, click. Come on. Click. Yeah, fine. Beep, beep. Go. Go. Okay, so we have the dates as they go down through the investigation. We have the next steps in the investigation. We have the people they've discovered and all of their descriptions and, different ways in which they may be guilty. We've got the evidence they've collected, physical evidence. I've got a section for stuff I should comment on at some point because it's not actually evidence, but it's interesting. Let's comment on it. And then I have the IIC, which is the investigator in charge's theory of what's going on. And I relate back to that. God, there's a million comments. I'm sorry, people. I can't keep up, but I will try as soon as I'm done being long-winded. I also have a Word document off to the side where I wrote the actual story. And I did this a couple days ago when I actually figured out what the story was. Because again, I was pantsing this whole friggin' thing. I wrote out the actual story as if you were like a bug on the wall seeing the murderer do the thing, so that I made sure that anything I write in the future would be true to that. I also make a backup of these notes so that I can look at them in like, a larger font size, because I'm an old man and this is kind of small. And then I also have another Word document where I copy and paste out all the interviews that have occurred, so that in case we re-interview someone, I just have a quick reference and I don't have to go through the whole friggin' Scrivener thing again, trying to find everything. And now I got to minimize all of that and go back to my comments. And where the heck are we? Blue. Okay, what do we got? Book 18. Yes, yeah, I know. I'm crazy like that. What do we do? Awkward moment when space opera opens on a mining. Yeah, I know. But a lot of sci-fi opens with mining. It's just, I read a lot of sci-fi. I don't know if you have, but I just, obviously there has to be mining because we need resources for the new system. Stations have to be built. Houses, eventually. They're not actually allowed to build on the planet yet, except for stupidly rich people who can afford to do all the research to make sure that they're not killing any indigenous species, blah, blah, blah. But I was trying to avoid the mining thing for a while. Not because I don't like it. I just, what the hell was that show called? The Expanse. Awesome show, but it's all mining and stuff. And I actually inadvertently have somebody named Holden in my friggin' series here. So I got to make sure it doesn't seem like I'm copying anything. Well, I mean, come on. I don't know what you're talking about now, because I went on so long about all the other things. Sure. Amazing. Act 1. Yes, I know. Act 1 of an entirely different series, which will be not murder mysteries, but space adventure. I am a madman. I mean, I might die before that happens, but, well, let's not talk like that. Come on. We're all living to be 150, like in my books, which is why I wrote it, so that I have hope. I got Sorce's in here, huh? Sorry, Saoirse. Your name's actually Sarah. I'm going to call you Sarah. Hi, Sarah. All the peoples. It's amazing. I am doing lots of things and like talking endlessly. I assume people want to like actually write something, though. Yeah, I mean, complaining's good to keep your stress levels low. Just complain out loud. It doesn't matter if someone's there to hear you. Just, bitch away, and it's out. It's fine. You can go on with your day. Don't do anything because I say something stupid. I say lots of things and they're all dumb. Don't listen to me. Who we got? Okay. Oh, yeah. Scroll to the bottom. Yay. Okay. So this is a slightly inebriated stream. So we'll have a little bit of beer. Is it warm now? Well, it's not as cold as it was, but that's fine. 6.9%. It's something. Okay, I don't remember how to do anything, but let's do a whatever it's called, sprint thing. Click on button. What am I drinking? It's Goose Island IPA. I'll let you know something, okay? From, well, my entire life up until I was 37. I mean, there was a short little bit there when I was like 13 and experimenting, but I didn't drink. I got my driver's license rather early on, and I was using it all the time because I lived in the friggin' middle of nowhere in the country. So I never drank. And I worked 20-hour days, 7 days a week for my job, trying to get ahead, from like the 20s all the way up until I was 37. And So I didn't really have time to drink, and like I didn't even have time to sleep. So whatever. And then I got a new job. I moved, and suddenly I had enough money that I didn't have to really work kind of like two jobs or stupidly long anymore. And I thought, you know what? Let's just try to enjoy ourselves for once, because it was a struggle. Everything in life was a struggle up until that point. And so I actually hated the taste of beer. So I tried like different wines and stuff, and I actually do enjoy wine. But then a work outing for Christmas, we went to a restaurant, and everyone else was ordering beer and whatever. And I was like, okay, fine, let's conform. I look at the menu and I'm like, God, could you just. And I asked the waiter, I'm like, can you pick something random, please? Because I don't really drink and I don't know what any of this is. And he's like, well, what do you kind of feel like? And I'm like, I don't want anything that's like Coors Light or Bud Light or anything like that. Give me something that tastes like something, for God's sakes. I'm paying like $7 for this friggin' drink. Let's have it taste like something. And they happened to have Goose Island IPA on the menu, and he brought me that, and I was like, you know what? This tastes like pine needles. That's awesome. I am happy to drink this. And I had my steak and whatever and cut it surgically to remove all the fat, because I was a strange person at the time. And fat's good for you. Fat's flavor. Don't skip the fat. But I was a bit surgical at the time. But I had that beer, and then kind of ever since then, I try to always make sure that there's a case at all times. And when 3 o'clock hits and I want to write, I'll normally crack one open, and it's like 5.9 or 6 point. I don't remember what it is. Some percentage, strong enough that it tastes like something, it kicks like something, and yeah, it's tasty. Jesus Christ, I talk so much. Who we got? Felicity. Hello. Wait, I have to click on the things. Yeah, well, sip your juice box. There's nothing wrong with juice boxes. I like those. Hi, Felicity. How you doing? Thank you very much for subscribing. It's all good. Ian Lore. Yeah, there's lots of Ian Lore. Hey, Beth. How you doing? Sorry, Beth. I will beta read for you soon, but at the moment I'm trying to finish off my book here, and then I decided to go live for some strange reason. And I said that I would click on the thing and we'd do. Oh, I did click on the thing. That's been up there the whole time. Okay, well, apologies, people. I'm a moron. Let's start by clicking in the other window. We'll do 25 minutes, just cuz, whatever. Write whatever you like. I got to do scene 3-1, which is in Act 3, which is preparation, prep, plan, consider what it will take to get answer. Let's do that. See you in a bit. There we go. Did you guys hear that bring, or is that just on my end? I don't know if I actually shared the audio from the other tab. That was 25 minutes. How did everyone do? Let's go back to me here. Is anyone even still there? I don't actually. Hey, that's interesting. I don't actually see how many people are in the stream. You heard it. Rose. Where's Rose? There you go. Hi, Rosebat. How you doing? 32 words. 32 more than you had 25 minutes ago. Don't ever beat yourself up for progress. All progress is progress. That was fun. When I make videos for AuthorTube, I don't ever actually record myself typing because it's a very long process. Like I'll type like a line and I'll read it out and then like tweak it or I'll like end up cutting to a bunch of research that I'm doing. But in this live thing, I just left the camera running for the majority of the time. So you get to see me talking through everything. I mean, if you weren't doing your own actual work and were instead just watching this, crazy old man do things. What we got? Finished one video script. Good stuff, Larry. Felicity, 382 words, plotting the climax out before I actually have to write it. That's awesome. 382 words of plotting. That'll be a chunky scene when you end up writing it, or chapter. Not sure how many words, but almost finished up a scene I needed to rewrite. Awesome-o. Quote out, editing, not expecting so much in gains. Yeah, that's the thing. On these streams, everyone's like, what's your word count? And it's like, I'm editing, I'm revising, My word count's minus 50 because I had to delete some stuff or something. We were productive for 25 minutes. I think that's the important bit. Big boy battle for sure. Awesome. That's awesome, Felicity. I'm narrowing down who the murderer is. Well, I'm not. I know who the murderer is, but the investigators are. It's tough. This is a tough book. Likely because there's lots of suspects and they're all viable. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but the way I've written it, they're potentially all viable because they all did it. That's not necessarily what happened, but it makes the writing a little bit circular. It's like, okay, we narrowed it down to this person. Oh, but we found this evidence that now points back to everyone. And it kind of does that a couple of times. In revisions, I'll figure out if any of this actually makes sense. But for right now, it seems to be working. Vikings, gods, elves, and wolves, and a big cloud. You guys are writing so much more exciting books than I am. I'm just writing, detectives investigating somebody that happened to die. But all the fantasy stuff sounds fascinating. I don't know if my brain could cope with that. I mean, I invented a world, but honestly, everyone's behaving like they do now. They're just in a different environment. You guys invent whole new worlds, whole new types of people to inhabit them, whole other cultures, money systems, magic. It's fascinating. Good for you. Love it. Long live imagination. 5 minutes. Where do I press to go to the thing? Here. Oh, it's already counting down. Give me a stop. Yes, yes, yes. Fine. Pause. Reset the thing. Back over to here. Okay. I could definitely write a fantasy. Doesn't have to be high fantasy. I don't know the difference between fantasy and high fantasy. I'm sorry. Please tell me. Detectives are hard, though. I can't think of all the twists and describe them in a way that's not obvious to who did it. It's so hard. One of my major issues here is that every single book you read, everything everybody's talking about, there's all this interiority, right? You're in the person's thoughts. Everything's like first person. Majority of it is. And I'm thinking to myself, how the hell could I have possibly have written this in first person? Because obviously the detective would get to the point faster. Because he's a professional. He knows what to look for. I have to just present the evidence that they come across and let the reader act as though they're the detective. Because if I actually had a competent detective doing this, then it would happen much too quickly. And, you'd have a novella or a pamphlet. It would be pretty short, in my opinion. That's just what I was thinking. So what I've actually gone with is, the old man approach of third person omniscient. So I pop around and I decide whose thoughts you get to hear at any given time. And I normally just don't give them because tough. I don't want to spoil anything. I think it's more important for the reader to figure out what's going on. See, there you go. Same, I would give away who the murderer was so many times, probably. Yeah. Like we're at 45,000 and I'm like, you know what? I could end this book in a sentence. But we gotta keep it going. Well, there you go. I've never written in first person. I've only ever written in this. And a lot of it's because a lot of the older books that I read from, I don't know, 50 plus years ago. Anyway, I'm not that old, but the books are. They were in third omniscient. So I'm only getting into first person now as I'm being introduced to newer books that have been published. High fantasy are the ones that take place in a whole new world, usually have magic and stuff. Low fantasy is the same, but without the magic. Urban fantasy takes place in modern settings. Okay, well, there you go. And just, for fun, while we're teaching Ian what everything means in the world, what's dark academia? Does that mean at a school and there's like bad magic? I see that dark academia stuff coming up a lot. Writes literally. Yes, there you go. And smiles. I don't know if there's a delay, but I really want to know what the dark academia thing is. Come on. Come on, chat. I'm just playing around. You don't owe me anything. Dami, did you leave? Hi, Dami. Sorry if you left. I did wave to you, but anyway. Dark academia, usually a school, university setting. Not sure what the dark is meant to be. To be honest, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Cool. An aesthetic like Snape. Okay. Awesome. I'm trying to get used to what all these terms mean so that, if I'm actually desiring reading that, is it a genre, a trope, or a theme? Anyway, whatever. If I'm desiring reading something like that, then I can look that up and go for it. If no one has any questions, I'm not blaming you for not having any questions. If there aren't any questions, then we might just go on to another stream. Not stream, sprint. Too many subgenres. I can't keep up. Well, that's true. Did you know there's actually a sci-fi mystery subgenre on Amazon, and there's a mystery sci-fi subgenre on Amazon. So once I actually do publish these things, I mean, that's the ultimate goal, right? Is self-publishing. Then there's a place and a lovely little Amazon code for where my books should go. When am I publishing? Good question. The original plan was to write the 3 books, have them edited, covers, everything, and then start publishing book 1, and then every, I don't know, 4 or 6 months release another one. Well, also, I should be looking at the camera. Well, also writing the other ones, the 4, 5, 6, and onwards and upwards. However, I have changed that plan because the thematic arc is in 6 book chunks. I've now decided that I'm going to write all 6 books to begin with. Make sure that that theme carries through them all accurately before I then go and start publishing things. Book 1's already been to a dev editor. It's been to a bunch of beta readers, some critique partners. I've got 3 more people I'm kind of waiting to hear back on about it. And then almost everyone except for my brother, I still have to wait to hear back on for book 2. My brother's probably the greatest dev editor in existence. That's not what he does for a living, but he is brutal. He is absolutely brutal and awesome because nothing gets past him. So that's great. I take on his feedback and I make tweaks, and then I send it out to other people and see if there are more tweaks that are more, let's say, emotionally based rather than logic based. And then I send it off to a professional editor to do all their stuff, and blah, 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 blah. It takes for friggin' ever. So the plan is to write 6 books all at once, get them done, make sure it all works as far as I'm concerned, plot and subplot wise, and overarching plot wise. And then, figure out covers and editors and audiobooks and all of that. And then, well, all of that's going on, start writing books 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bon. Patient. Am I? Do I sound like a patient person? I knew in advance that this would take a long time. I'm fortunate in that I seem to be able to fly through the writing of these books because, again, I started in May and we're 2.5 books in. And honestly, the one I wrote in May took 2 weeks. And the second book took a month 3 weeks in NaNoWriMo. And now this one's taken almost a month. I'm not really pushing myself on this one. So I seem to be able to fly through the first drafts of these things. Again, I know how investigations go, and they're easy enough to write that way. They're also easy to write because they're stupidly heavy on dialogue. And the reason for that is because I always envisioned them as audiobooks, and I wanted the least amount of narrator voice as possible. I wanted the actual characters to carry the story because I won't say grew up. We weren't like sitting around the radio. Like, I'm not that old, but in my teens and 20s, I listened to a lot of old time radio programs that I got from, you know, Kazaa or Shariza or whatever the torrent flavor of the day was. And I loved listening to those old time radio programs because you really felt like you were immersed, you were part of it. But there wasn't the narration, it was just the characters carrying everything. So my cat's scratching at the door there, sliding its paws down the glass. Okay. There wasn't the narration, it was mostly the dialogue, the odd sound effect. And so that's where, if you ever read one of my books and you're like, what the hell is this? That's what it is. It's me recreating the experience of me really enjoying the old time radio programs that I downloaded and listened to. So there's that. I am patient. Yes. Okay. Is everyone else patient? Am I talking too much? Let's just go to another thing. Go do some work. God, how do I start the thing? Go. You work. Thank you very much. Sorry, yes, I'd like to keep writing for just a half second. As they all worked their way through the corridor, temporarily removing articles of superfluous clothing as they progressed toward the brig. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Save. Hello, everyone. Hi, how you doing? Does anyone have an update on whatever they did? Skip a break, and we'll wait on that. Okay, there we go. Is anyone still here? I mean, I appreciate it. It's Friday night. If you have other places to go, other things to do, that's great. I only have writing to do tonight. Tomorrow night, I'm a little bit busy, though. I have to click on things. Slowly making my way through this scene. Fair enough. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm probably the slowest writer in existence, which is why I have to spend, 6 to 14 hours a day writing if I want to get anywhere. You're probably doing better than I am. Started working on chapter 13, which I'd previously skipped. Well, it's an unlucky number. I mean, it makes sense to have skipped that originally. Rename it like 12B and then write it. Utter nonsense coming out of Ian's mouth. 57. We're getting there. Keep on keeping on. Go get some food. Hey, Felicity, feed yourself. You need the energy for later. And you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate it. Eren. Hope writes. I should be writing, but I'm drawing instead. Hey, you're an artistic person. Do the thing. Writing, drawing, singing, dancing, whatever fills your heart with joy. It's all good. I wish I could draw. I mean, I can scribble, and it looks slightly better than a stick figure, but I've never really been an artist. Were any of you in the stream? I think it was yesterday. Might have been the day before with Becca Tobar, and she like showed her sketchbook, something she was. It might have been an iPad, but something she was doing during the sprint, and it was wonderful. That was some great art. It's very nice. So I got into Act 3, Scene 3-2, whatever. I mean, Scene 3 just means Act 3, but Scene 2 basically of Act 3. Our investigators have set a trap. You're kind of not allowed to do that legally, but they're not getting the suspects to commit a crime artificially. They're just, not having the thing there that the suspects would do a crime against, and instead replacing it with a camera. So we'll see who, opens the door in order to try to commit another crime. And, that person's probably the guilty party. It could be a coincidence. They just opened the door, but chances are they're the guilty party. And then once that happens, we'll have some more interviews, and there might be some pressure put on, and someone will hopefully confess. In book 2, the confession is nonsense. I might end up having to change it, but I haven't received feedback from any readers yet, except my brother, who said it was absolute nonsense. So, this is what I'm working off of here. It wasn't coercion how they got the confession, but it was a little bit spicy. And he didn't believe that would work. So, fair enough. I don't think it would work either. Not like now, but maybe in the future. people have changed. They're mostly just hanging out on computers in the future. Oh, I left your comment up. I'm sorry. Are you planning to self-publish? If so, are you planning to do Amazon or use another means? I am planning to self-publish, and the idea is Amazon exclusive, Kindle Unlimited, Amazon for the paperbacks, and Kindle itself as well. I'm not going to do the Ingram Micro route. I honestly think that the kind of people who will read these murder mysteries will, binge read them. So I think they're more likely to be on Kindle Unlimited or want to just order these things on Amazon. I honestly don't think any bookstore would want to carry like 30 books all by me and like multiple copies of them in case I don't think that's going to happen. So Amazon seems to be the way to go for these particular things, which I don't want to like downplay what I've done, but I consider them beach reads. I think they're just kind of fun, and people get a little bit of a laugh and have some fun solving a mystery. There's a lot of laughs, I think. Might be generational laughs. I don't know, but I laugh a lot when I write them. So thank you very much for that. We don't have like a million people, so I don't have to really keep up. I'm glad that everybody's been getting some work done. Does anyone feel like doing another one? How long have we been going for? Hour 37? What are these things? Normally 2 hours? We could do another one. I'm happy to do it. It's 8:52 my time. Obviously, I'm not reading your clock. So I'll tell you what, if you have to go, feel free. I'm going to set up another timer to go anyway. And then after that, if anyone has anything that they want to ask or say or share, great. And then we'll end the stream after that. So we'll do another 25 if everyone's cool with that. Sarah's down for another sprint, though I might have to leave at some point to get. That's fine. That's fine. Take it all in. There's tons of food in my books. I'm A-okay with food and writing. So we'll do that. Thank you very much for your input. I don't remember how to do anything. Oh, I click on this. No, not that. This. Larry's up for another one. I gotta remember to take these down after I click on them. Thank you for putting up with me on my first real stream with interaction. I appreciate it. You guys rock. Okay, so we're doing another 25. Ready, and switch tabs. Go. Awesome. I could mute myself. You want to hear what my keyboard sounds like? I'll just type fakely. That's what my keyboard sounds like. Okay, going on mute now. Thanks, bye. Here we are. There's the timer. Skip break, go back. Jess. Hey friends, I'm out to dinner, so not currently writing, but thought I'd pop in and say hello. We appreciate you saying hello, Jess. What are you having for dinner? I mean, you're probably not still monitoring the stream, but dinner sounds good. I haven't had anything but what I make myself for like years, and I miss it. I really wish I could justify spending the money. You know, there's beer to buy. I'm just kidding, but there's lots of things that have to be purchased. Beth Coffee. I don't know if you guys know this, but Beth Coffee, yes, is a published author. I have one of her books right here, Brood Awakening, which I showed just a minute ago, but there you go, Brood Awakening. I have not read it yet. I just got this yesterday, but that's awesome. What else do I have? I've got Venture Beyond by Taylor Ann Wright. This is the sequel to Venture Below. I've got Queen of Hearts by C.K. Jensen. That's where my money goes. I'm spending all my money on supporting author tubers. And the awesome thing is that all the books are amazing. So I'm happy about that. Well, no problem, Beth. I mean, I'm happy to support and plug people. There we got 446 Shazam. That's more than I've ever gotten in a sprint. Getting Taylor's book next payday. Awesome. Saoirse, all the indie authors. Yeah, it's great. Hold on, I have more. There's so many more. Hold on. Oh, geez, Louise. Oh, I mean, they're not the lightest things in existence, these physical books. Hunting Vienna by Yasmina Adina. This is an urban hunt book. 18-year-olds caught up in a treasure hunt in Vienna, and they have to complete a bunch of tasks and solve clues and stuff. And then the one at the end is just like, I would have opted out at that point, but these guys made it through. So that's really cool. This is a very well-written book. Hunting Vienna. Under the Same Sky, Kate Hill. She's a lovely person with a great channel. Very down to earth. She's, if you want to watch her on this journey, God, that's a thick book. That's a great read. A long, what do they call it? Slow burn romance. I haven't read this one yet. This is Healing from Bulimia. The reason I bought it is, again, to support author tubers. And this is by Nikki. Hold on, we've got Nikki Nihira, who I believe is Artist Archives 4747 on YouTube. And she's like an actress and a writer, and she does all the art stuff. That's great. Those are the ones I have so far. Nevea. Hello. How you doing? It's awesome that you're here. We just finished the third sprint, so I was going to call it a night and like let my hostages go, but I appreciate you coming in. Love a slow burn romance. It is the slowest of slow burns. I've never actually read a romance before. Maybe that's perfectly normal. I thought it was great. However, the whole time I was like, is this the person she's getting with? Or is this going to be the person? Or this? Like, there were so many potential candidates or suitors. But she ended up with, obviously, the good guy. So that was nice. A little bit of spice, but just at the end, and it was an appropriate amount. You know, we're all adults. There's an appropriate amount, and then there's like Saturday night I'm out. Whatever, don't listen to me. Okay. I'm late. Oh my God. Yeah, you're not late. It was a pop-up. I was writing anyway, and I decided to do it just to sort of get my feet wet. I've never actually done this with an audience before. I did it a couple other times as tests and just went through dev edit feedback, talking to myself the majority of the time. So that was fun. Like if you ever go back on my lives, I wore hold on. Ugh. Come on. There we go. Let's go. Oh, this is the greatest. Hello. How you doing? You guys ever see that drummer on YouTube, maybe Instagram, maybe TikTok, and he's in his bathroom? Oh, that's the greatest. And now I have a headache. Oh, that guy's a wonderful drummer. He plays on pails and against the walls and stuff, and sometimes he has other guests in. It's fun stuff. I don't know if he actually has other guests or if he just puts on different masks. Yeah, I haven't really looked into that, but whatever. Oh my God, comments. Okay. Mine is spicy, so you've been warned. It burns fast. I burn pretty fast myself, so we'll just I'm just messing around. It's all good. There you go. Beth, sign me up. Spicy as well. I'd say a medium burn. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with spice. We're all adults. I mean, you're not writing middle grade for God's sakes, or like YA, let's be honest, kids have sex. High school kids have sex. But you don't necessarily have to write about it. That even sounds illegal, like writing about underage people having sex. That sounds illegal. So, maybe leave the spice out of YA and middle grade. It's just my opinion. Leave it for the adult stuff. And we have laughing and all sorts of fun stuff. Whoa, looked away for a minute, turned back, suddenly there was a horse. Yeah, well, it's Ian, so I'm insane. Just finished writing 2, came to YouTube to relax. Well, relax by putting on a horse head. It's good for what ails you. There we go. Closed door, fade to black. Yeah, sure. Curtains sway across, There's some maybe ear nibbling or whatever. We don't really need the graphic stuff. They are. Why are they? Because 30-year-old women read YA. And this is what I've heard. Because apparently 30-year-old women read YA and want spice. So they do it because if the books sell, they'll do anything. I guess. I don't know. But, if your target is really kids, maybe stay away from that. Just my opinion. I don't know anything about publishing. Do what you want. Caveat emptor. Okay. It has been 2 hours and 12 minutes. Mon Dieu. I appreciate... There you go. If they want spice, they should go to the adult genre. That is true. It's like in the old days when you had to go behind the curtain at the convenience store. It's just... There's a place for it. It's the adult section. Not adult, but, not kids. I appreciate everyone who came in on the stream. It's been wonderful chatting with you and writing with you and just, experiencing this night. I really appreciate you coming by. It means a lot. So we'll see you some other time. Maybe I'll actually schedule it or something, but there seem to be streams going like all other times, day and night. So I just sort of snuck in here. I very much appreciate everybody coming. Thanks for the sprints. Hey, thank you. That's awesome. Okay. I will see you next time. Bye for now. I think I have to click like twice to end this thing. So bye.